Over the weekend, 54 people were shot in Chicago, at least 8 people killed. That alone would qualify the Windy City to be classified as a war zone. And that's why President Trump is preparing to conduct major immigration enforcement operations in the Windy City. And as those 50 people were being shot this weekend, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson signed an executive order against the deployment of federal agents in his city.
I'm signing an executive order today that will launch the Protecting Chicago initiative. This order affirms that the Chicago Police Department will not collaborate with military personnel on police patrols or civil immigration enforcement. We will protect our Constitution, we will protect our city, and we will protect our people. We do not want to see tanks in our streets. We do not want to see families ripped apart. We do not want grandmothers thrown into the back of unmarked vans. He is reckless and out of control. He is the biggest threat to our democracy than we've experienced in the history of our country.
Well, during a Labor Day rally today, he told the crowd he would defy the president and defend democracy in Chicago.
Are you prepared to defend this land that was built by slaves, a land that was built by indigenous people, a land that is built by workers? Are you prepared to defend this land? If this president decides to continue to break this Constitution, it's going to be the labor movement that stitches it back together.
I don't know. Sounds a little, what's the vibe I'm looking for? Insurrection-y, maybe? Just a smidge. But as bad as the streets may be in Chicago or Washington, D.C., they are even more dangerous in places like Memphis, Tennessee, and Detroit. According to FBI numbers from last year, those two cities rank as having the highest crime rate per 100,000 people in the country. And by crime, the FBI means murder, rape, robbery, aggravated assault. Chicago ranks 29th on the FBI's list. So why is the Trump administration putting all of its resources and efforts into bringing law and order to Chicago and D.C. and not places like Memphis or Detroit? That is the question raised by the New York Times today. They published a story titled "Crime Festers in Republican States While Their Troops Patrol Washington." Now, the Times specifically called out Tennessee Governor Bill Lee, wondering why the Republican governor dispatched National Guard troops to Washington instead of Memphis. The Times pointed out the murder rate in Memphis is about twice as high as D.C.'s. So why is Governor Lee turning a blind eye to the hurting citizens of his own state? Now, his office did not respond to questions, and it's no surprise Governor Lee, something of a thin-skinned rhino squish, not exactly cut from the gubernatorial cloth of, say, Ron DeSantis or even Greg Abbott. Now, Jeffrey Butts of the John Jay College of Criminal Justice told the Times that federal resources are not actually being targeted where they would make the most difference. And he said that the Trump administration's actions are not doing anything to improve public safety. Instead, he said it's designed to humiliate political opponents. Yeah, I'm not buying this one at all, folks. And we got to push back on this assertion. Look, TV stations in D.C. are actually commending the president's crime crackdown. So are local residents. They say it's safe for the kids to finally play outdoors, not to mention the fact the district's murder rate has cratered.
I feel safer. I do. It doesn't bother me at all. I just feel more military police presence there are. I just feel like I'm more inclined to be downtown more often.
We need order in our city. If you don't have no order, you ain't got no city.
I think it's a good thing because, you know what I'm saying, it's better for the community and safer for the kids, stop the violence.
I enjoy having extra security. I think it's a good thing. I mean, you want to feel safe when you're out and about, especially females.
And while Chicago Mayor Johnson is all but threatening to wage an armed rebellion against federal agents, residents of the Windy City, they're begging President Trump for help.
The National Guard has to come here, even if it's for a scare tactic. They have to come here. There's no control. There's no law and order.
Today, you hardly see a police car in a neighborhood. It just seems like crime is really out of control right now.
The whole neighborhood is just sick of people coming into the neighborhood and acting like they can just come ravage your stores, take what they want to take, and then they try to make you feel like you're wrong for defending your property.
We still have a problem. We have a problem with illegal guns. We have a high murder rate. We need help with that.
I think that the governor as well as the mayor should be on board with it just so we can get a bit more of security in Chicago the way that we need.
Now, several weeks ago, the president personally told me on my national radio show that he would be taking a look at Memphis, the city of my birth, my hometown, one of the most unique cities in the nation, turned into a war zone thanks to activist judges, a soft-on-crime district attorney, and Democrat lawmakers who say there's really not so much a crime problem as there is a perception problem. The fact is that Memphians, we don't hate Memphis. We hate what our city has become. And I suspect the good people in Detroit and D.C. and Chicago feel the same way about their towns. You see, the one common denominator here is that Democrats control the most violent cities in our nation, every last one of them. The Democrats have ruled our major cities for generations. They are responsible for the crime. They are responsible for the bloodshed. They are responsible for the moral decay and the cultural rot. Now, President Trump, he wants to make our city safe again. The American people know that. And I got to say, I look forward to the day when President Trump is leading a convoy of troops down past Graceland and over to Beale Street looking to put a blue suede boot up the backside of the bad guys.
You know, everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmidt tonight on Newsmax.